Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the alternative coverage in the Premier League clash. It's Nottingham Forest against Manchester United this afternoon. Kick-off is fast approaching in round about 10 minutes time from now. I'm Russ Venom, your matchday host and your alternative host or presenter, whichever one you'd like to call it. And joining me today doing the commentary is none other than my good friend Paul James, and I'm just doing some unconfirmed reports, Paul, as we just get ready for kick-off, ahead of kick-off. Marcel Sabitzer, there's a bit of concerns for Sabitzer during the Manchester United warm-up. Christian Eriksen and Fred have been spotted previously warming up and could come into the starting line, and we'll wait and get confirmation on that very shortly. But while we wait for that confirmation, Paul, let's go to you, Paul, and let's get the changes from what the original sides were made, and then maybe an additional change in for Manchester United. We'll start off with Nottingham Forest, the home side, please, Paul. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Russ. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, the changes we can confirm are four for Nottingham Forest. Toffolo, Worrell and Kouyaté and John Joe Shelby are out. McKenna, Freuler, who wears the armband today, Lodi, and Taiwo Awoniyi is back from injury, making his first start since returning from injury. Those are the replacements for Nottingham Forest. For Manchester United, of course, they've made three changes from the 2-2 draw with Sevilla in the first leg of the Europa League quarter-final. Malacia, Varane and Martinez are out. Maguire comes back and wears the captain's armband. Lindelof and Dalot are the replacements there for Manchester United. Ross, back to you. All right, well, we seem to have lost Ross for just a moment, so...
I'm back now, Paul. Back now, Paul. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about that, my friend. Just a
That's
few
right.
technical difficulties there, Paul. But like I said, thank you very much, Paul. Well, just before we go back to Paul to talk about some of the key moments from both Manchester United and Nottingham Forest, let's just bring in the result from earlier today in the Premier League. It finished West Ham United 2, Arsenal 2. Arsenal bottling a 2-0 lead, 2-0 up inside 10 minutes through Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard before Said Benrahma and Jared Bowen levelled the scores for West Ham. Bukayo Saka missed a penalty in that one at the London Stadium earlier on this afternoon. In the Women's FA Cup is Chelsea, who go through to the Women's FA Cup final after Manchester United beat Brighton 3-2 yesterday and Chelsea beat Aston Villa by a goal to nil earlier on this afternoon. That final will take place on the 14th of May at Wembley Stadium. Well then, welcome to everyone who's tuned in today as we see people here listening along to our coverage this afternoon. Just like to bring Paul back in right now. And Paul, are you still there, my friend?
Yes, I am.
Well, Paul, let's just touch on Manchester United first of all. And one of their key headliners missing out of the game today's Marcus Rashford. He's missed the last few games because of an injury, missed out against Sevilla because of injury, missed out today because of a muscle injury. How big a miss do you think Rashford is? Because he's the leading goal scorer for Manchester United this season, and he's been a key part of what their success have been so far. I know they threw away a 2-goal lead over to Sevilla in midweek. How big a miss do you think Rashford will be for Manchester United this afternoon against Nottingham Forest?
Well, this way, I would suggest that Nottingham Forest are taking a huge sigh of relief given their defensive woes. For Manchester United, this is a massive miss. It's. I feel that they're going to miss him tremendously. I think goal scoring, consistent goal scoring, just hasn't been there for Manchester United this season, and he's been the only one that's been consistently putting the ball in the net.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Let's just look at Nottingham Forest as well and some of their key men who could help Nottingham Forest today against Manchester United. You mentioned their star for Taiwo Awoniyi first start. He's coming back from injury. There were a number of changes as well. It looks like it's a 3-4-1-2 formation for Nottingham Forest this afternoon. When you look at the side that Forest has put out, obviously Awoniyi back in, big player and a big plus for him there, for Forest there, and Steve Cooper there. We know how well he can perform. But when you look at it as well for Manchester United, up against Manchester United, we know the quality Man United have got. How big a threat do you think Awoniyi and Johnson can be to get into the likes of Delors, who's a natural right back, playing on the left hand side of Manchester United's defence, and Aaron Bissaka, who's not played many minutes, in on the right hand side. How big do you think those two key players could be for Nottingham Forest?
Well, of course, they're massive. Johnson's got 8 goals this season. Awoniyi has got 4 goals, but that's been, of course, restricted due to the injury that he's had. So with Morgan Gibbs-White playing behind those two, of course, that's 5 assists this season. You could have a potentially dangerous attacking lineup there for Nottingham Forest. And although looking at their lineup, they do appear to be set up rather defensively. I think if they can catch Manchester United cold, you never know with this one.
Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely, my friend. We're getting ready for kick-off. Kick-off fast approaching. Teams will be heading out onto the pitch in just a minute or so. It's time. We'll get ready to hand over to Paul to bring you the full first half commentary. I'll be back with you at half time to guide you through the first half report and give you my thoughts. In the Premier League 2 today, just a couple of results in there for the under-21s. In the mini Merseyside derby, Everton won, Liverpool won. Liverpool went behind on 12 minutes through Stan Mills, the son of former Leeds United defender Danny, and they had a player sent off. Samuel Smith got sent off late on for Everton before Max Woolerton equalised in the 89th minute. That was played at Southport. And under the Etihad campus, the mini Etihad, the Academy Stadium in Manchester, just to tell you quickly on this one, as players have now emerged from the tunnel here, is Man City beat Chelsea by 3-1. Bob, Brecken and Borges with a 3-goal lead for Manchester City before Castlediane pulled one back with 4 minutes to go at the Academy Stadium in Manchester. That's in the Premier League 2. Right then, let's see how this one unfolds in a big game at the bottom of the table. Forest just outside the relegation zone. Just inside the relegation zone, can move out with a point or a victory today. Manchester United can get back in towards the top 4 places, which they'll be looking to do this afternoon. Let's hand over to your match commentator then to guide you through the first half action and to give you that all-important team news. Is over to you, PJ.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. Let's start with the team lineups, as Ross suggested. Starting with Nottingham Forest, who are managed by Steve Cooper. Keylor Navas in goal, Musa Niakate, Scott McKenna and Felipe as 3 centre-backs. Renan Lodi and Nico Williams are operating as what would appear to be as wing-backs. Morgan Gibbs-White, Remo Freuler, the captain, Danilo, and Brennan Johnson and Taiwo Awoniyi operate up front, Awoniyi coming back from injury. For Manchester United, who is managed by Eric Ten Hag, they start with David De Gea in goal, Diogo Dalla, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, the captain, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The 2 holding midfielders are Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. Jadon Sancho, Marcel Sabitzer, I apologise, Anthony and Anthony Martial is in the number 9 role. For Nottingham Forest, their substitutes are Wayne Hennessy, Joe Worrell, Harry Toffolo, Orel Mangala, John Joe Shelby takes a position on the bench today. Jesse Lingard, Sam Surridge, Emmanuel Dennis, and Andre Ayew. Now, for Manchester United, I think might have been some changes here. Just to mention as well, I don't believe that Sabitzer is in the lineup. I just want to clear that up with you before we carry on. Yes, Sabitzer has been taken out of the lineup and Eriksson is in his stead. So Eriksson is on and starts instead of Sabitzer. So just a correction there. So that unconfirmed report that we did have is correct. Sabitzer has injured himself during warm-up and Christian Eriksen is on instead. Substitutes for Manchester United then are Jack Buckland, Brendan Williams, Mark Gerardo. He will make his debut today if he plays, his league debut. Brendan Williams hasn't played in the league for Manchester United since 2021. Fred Facundo Pellistri, Zidane Iqbal will also make his debut if he comes on today. Wout Weghorst and Anthony Alanga. So the referee today is Simon Hooper. He's 40 years old from Swindon. He was promoted to the select Group 1 referees alongside David Coote in 2018-2019 at age just 36. He has shown 75 yellow cards. He hasn't shown a single red card all season. 2 penalties in 24 appearances. He's joined on the lines by Adrian Holmes and Simon Long. Jared Gillett is in 4th official duty, and Andy Madley and Nick Hopton are in VAR. Manchester United get the game underway. They are in change strips of white shirts, black shorts, white socks. They're attacking the Trent end, and Nottingham Forest, of course, in their famous red shirts and white shorts. And here's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka just drops it down to Anthony. Anthony slips it back to Wan-Bissaka. And back to Anthony. Anthony. Pull back, and here's Bruno Fernandes. Can he get it? Cross in! Oh, good save by Neves! It's straight out to Sancho, and it's blocked on the line! And I think it was blocked on the line by McKenna. And it's cleared away by Nico Williams. Well, early action already. And Manchester United nearly take the lead. Good goalkeeping by Keylor Navas. Backed up by, I think it may have been Felipe. Let's just take another look at it. It comes back. Oh no, it's actually Navas that actually gets that block. It's a double save by Keylor Navas and from Sancho. Good work by him. And Forest survive an early scare. And it's back with the goalkeeper now, David De Gea. David De Gea is just going to take his time with this. These two teams have met each other 108 times. Nottingham Forest have won 33 of those. Manchester United have won 51, and there's been 24 draws. It should also be pointed out as well that Manchester United can win their 10th straight game against Forest in all competitions today. Here's Sancho for United, putting the pressure on early. Jadon Sancho just drops back to midfield and gives it to Lindelof. Okay, and there's been a replacement on the bench. I'm just being informed by my producer. Nathan Bishop now replaces Eriksson on the bench. So United have a second substitute goalkeeper there. And here's Wan-Bissaka just over the halfway line. Gives it to Fernandes. Fernandes looking for the ball forward. It's just headed away by Williams. And once again, and here's Gibbs White. Plays the ball forward looking for Johnson. But that's a good interception by Lindelof. Here's Dalla. Dalla just drops it down to Bruno Fernandes, edge of the penalty area. Fernandes out to Wan-Bissaka, but great work there. And that's excellent work by Morgan Gibbs-White. And the ball is played forward, and there's a collision between Harry Maguire and Taiwo Awoniyi, and a first yellow card comes out for Harry Maguire. So that is not good for Harry Maguire. Inside 3 minutes, and a yellow card already for the Manchester United captain as he took out Taiwo Awoniyi there. And see there, he just bundles him over. Perhaps Taiwo goes down a little easy, but it's a yellow card nevertheless. Whenever you put your hands on a player, you know that you're running the risk. Awoniyi is back on his feet now. And Nottingham Forest are going to get a free kick. Interesting stat here, in the last 5 Premier League meetings, Nottingham Forest have been outscored 22-2 by Manchester United. I mean, it's clear to say that Manchester United have definitely had Nottingham Forest number today. They need that to change. And the free kick is going to be taken by McKenna, and he plays the ball long forward. It's just headed out by Maguire. Only as far as Anthony, gives it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Manchester United break. And chasing that one down is Sancho, but it's just a little bit too far for him, and goes all the way through to Keylor Navas in the Nottingham Forest goal. 4 minutes gone. It is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 0 at the City Ground. Nottingham, one of the finest cities in England. And it's a long ball forward. It's headed on, but picked up by Harry Maguire. And Harry Maguire was nearly dispossessed by Brennan Johnson there. Well, that was very careless play by Harry Maguire, and he almost gave the ball, nearly led in Brennan Johnson. Manages to get the ball out for a throw-in. Johnson seems to have picked up a little bit of a knock. He's just limping. He's signalling to his teammates that he's okay, but it's going to be a throw-in. And Brennan Johnson, Harry Maguire there, that's really, really lackadaisical play by him. And the throw-in is going to be taken by Niakate for Nottingham Forest. Musa Niakate, is he going for a long one? He does, he gets some distance on that without hardly a run-up. David De Gea punching it away, but not far enough. It's headed on, and there's a one-ye, and it's blocked and cleared away there, but only as far. Well, just trying to see, that's Christian Eriksen over there on the far side, and he tries to knock it off a one-ye. Successful. It goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in, and Manchester United can kind of that throw-in there by Niakate caused some chaos in the Manchester United penalty area. It was headed on by Johnson, and the one-ye got a shot away, but it was blocked. And then it was cleared away by Casemiro. And so Manchester United also experiencing some early pressure, this time from a throw-in, really caused a lot of chaos in that Manchester United penalty area. And the ball is now with Taiwo Awoniyi. Awoniyi just knocks it back to Johnson. Johnson, long ball over on the far side, but it's wayward, but excellently won back by Felipe there. And here's Williams. Williams slips the ball to McKenna. McKenna just plays the ball forward, but Casemiro wins that ball back. And it's now with Eriksen. Eriksen plays the ball forward, and it's an early long ball into the box. And there's Sancho! And Sancho just pulls away from Navas, and he drops it back to Eriksen. It's back to Dalot with a shot, which is well over and into the Trent end. And, well, just for a moment, Keylor Navas either slipped or went down too early. Let's just have a look at that. It looks like he just sort of went down to try to put Sancho off, and then Sancho just drops it back to Eriksen and back to Dalot, who curls it over the crossbar. And David De Gea there, just also experiencing some discomfort by the looks of it. And Nottingham Forest breaking from the back, which is Felipe. Felipe gives the ball away, though, only as far as Eriksen, but Eriksen knocks it out of play. And already we've got substitutes warming up here. And David De Gea looks like he's hurt himself. And that looks like it's Jack Butland already warming up just as a precaution. The throw-in is taken quickly. It's headed on by Awoniyi. Won back by Lindelof. Lindelof to Eriksen, and Eriksen drops it back to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka crossing the halfway line now. And over on the far side there is Anthony. Drops it back to Fernandes. Fernandes gives it back to Anthony. It looks like he's got options. He's got, yes, he gives the ball to Bruno Fernandes. To Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And it's given to Eriksen. Eriksen just drops it back. It's Fernandes again. Swings the ball in. And it's headed over the crossbar by Felipe. And that was very, very close to being an own goal. But it's a move he had to make because right behind him was Jadon Sancho. And it's just over the crossbar there. And you can see it here. It's a good piece of defending, really. And it's going to be a corner to Manchester United. And it's going to be outswung here by Fernandes, and it's just headed out, not really far enough by Felipe, but cleared away again by Danilo. And chasing this one is Brendan Johnson. Johnson has got Wan-Bissaka in front of him. He's hoping for some for some assistance. Chasing in the box now is Danilo. And a good work by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United. To Nottingham Forest. And you can just see here Brennan Johnson just trying to hold the ball up, looking for support. But good work by Aaron Wan-Bissaka there. It's going to be a throw-in. And over to take it is Niakate again. I wonder if he's going to swing another long one into the box. It's level with the Manchester United penalty area. And it's going to go short this time. No, he does go for the long one. He gets some there's virtually no run up. It's headed out by Martial, headed back in and flicked on, but it looks like Brennan Johnson may be offside. But there's been no signal from the... Well, now there is. Well, it was a fairly clear offside that Brennan Johnson was gone there. The official on this near side was a little bit late raising his flag there. There's Steve Cooper. Well, Steve Cooper is under tremendous pressure right now. Another defeat could see him in all kinds of trouble, really. It's very interesting, I think, for Nottingham Forest. I don't think there's an option really to replace Steve Cooper at the moment. I don't believe so anyway, but we've seen some very strange decisions made with the sacking of football managers recently. Interesting to note that Steve Cooper is a son of former referee Keith Cooper. Johnson is down right now and is just stayed down. So we've got a stoppage in play here. So you are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Commentary Hub. Well, Johnson is still down. These two teams met each other for the first time on October 29th, 1892 in League Division 1. Nottingham Forest won, and the then Newton Heath one was watched by 6,000 people. The news events of the time: August the 4th, Sunday school teacher Lizzie Borden's father and stepmother are murdered with an axe in Fall River, Massachusetts. Borden is later arrested, tried and acquitted. On October the 14th, Arthur Conan Doyle publishes The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And on December the 9th, Newcastle United Football Club was founded in this year as well. So Johnson is now back on his feet, and Dalot is just waiting for the referee to allow him to take the throw-in, which he does. And it's with Victor Lindelof right now. And Lindelof just drops it back to Maguire. Maguire gives it to Lindelof. Lindelof goes all the way back to David De Gea. And De Gea, right-footed, just plays it down this near side to Dalot. Dalot plays it forward to Lindelof, but Manchester United just trying to slow the pace again down right now. Here's Dalot, plays the ball long over on the far side. It's looking for Anthony. Well, Anthony loses the ball there to Morgan Gibbs-White. It's played back all the way to Niakate, who goes back to the goalkeeper, and it's cleared downfield by Keylor Navas. And one in midfield by Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White just knocks the ball on. It's rather careless there, but he does find Scott McKenna. And Scott McKenna plays it long, looking for Taiwo Awoniyi, but it's out of play. It's going to go behind, I think, for a goal kick there. And actually, no, it just goes out of play for the throw-in. He was not able to keep the ball in. And here is Harry Maguire. He's just holding the ball right now. Plays the ball over to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, on to Casemiro, who plays the ball long, looking for Anthony. That is a superb ball by Casemiro. McKenna is over there trying to stop Anthony. Anthony plays the pass to Fernandes. Fernandes to Ericsson. Ericsson slips the ball forward to Anthony Martial. Martial under pressure by two Nottingham Forest players. And here's Ericsson. Ericsson plays the ball out wide to Bruno Fernandes, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka there. And he just drops the ball to Anthony. Anthony just looking for options. And he drops the ball to Christian Eriksen, about 40 yards from goal. And United's being pressed back by Forest here now. They're just trying to move forward again, but Nottingham Forest doing really well defensively here. Here's Harry Maguire. And oh, Harry Maguire's ball is absolutely dreadful. He was looking for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but the ball was definitely a disappointing one by the Manchester United captain, and it's now going to be a throw-in to to Nottingham Forest. Well, you can see there Harry Maguire. He's had a tumultuous time at Old Trafford, really. He's come under a lot of criticism, but he's still there, and he's still wearing the captain's armband. And Niakate now will take the throw-in for Nottingham Forest. It's level with his own penalty area. And it's looking for a One-Yi heads the ball on, looking for Gibbs White, but Manchester United win the ball back. Ericsson just knocks the ball forward there. Martial goes down under pressure. He's claiming a free kick. The referee says no. Game goes on. And the ball is back into the Manchester United half of the field, and Harry Maguire slips it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And it's back with Maguire now, who goes all the way back to David De Gea, who clears the ball downfield, who seems to have recovered from his earlier knock. It's one there, but the header by Niakate. It's headed on by McKenna, and McKenna's header just rolls out of play. Niakate is claiming it was fouled. Simon Hooper says no. And the phone is taken quickly. Here's Anthony. Anthony just gives the ball to Casemiro, and Casemiro moving forward now just drops the ball to Ericsson. Fernandes dummies it and the ball comes to Dalot. Dalot looking for options, and here's Martial trying to squeeze through, but good work by Freuler. And the clearance away by Niakate is not the best. It's picked up by Lindelof, and now Sanchez down this left-hand side. Sanchez gets into the penalty area, gives it to Dalot. Dalot plays the ball across. It's found Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Is he going to shoot? No. He plays the ball to Ericsson, who gets a curling shot, but Ericsson was just pulling himself away from the ball. It's curled over. It's a goal kick. Actually, that is Anthony, I should say, not Ericsson. But as he was pulling away, he curls the ball over the crossbar. And there's 15 minutes gone here at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 0. As we look at Marcel Sabitzer, unfortunate enough to pick up an injury in the warm-ups, and he was replaced by Christian Eriksen. And there's Danilo. Is Danilo fouled there? Yes, by Anthony. It's going to be a free kick. It's right on the halfway line. And Danilo is just getting himself to his feet. And the free kick will actually be taken almost on the halfway line. The referee's forcing Lodi back a little bit. And he's going to take free kick now. I don't know. Renan Lodi is going to go for a long one, I think. And it looks like Manchester United are also operating on quite a high line as well. We've seen them do that in recent weeks. Lodi, long ball forward. And it got, David De Gea came for it, but Felipe got the header up there. And it's Niakate again with a shot, but that was an ambitious effort. About 32 yards out there, Niakate, but it blazes over the crossbar. So for Manchester United, I mean, they've had 2 wins in a row. They're finally just starting to put some form together again after that 7-0 defeat to Liverpool. For Nottingham Forest, no wins in 8 games. And the pressure piling on as a point today will take Nottingham Forest outside the relegation zone. A point would be just what they need. And here's Fernandes. Fernandes plays the ball to Anthony. Anthony cuts into the penalty area. Anthony holds the ball up. It's just headed away there by McKenna. Comes back to Fernandes. Great save by Keylor Navas. Wonderful stop. And the referee then sees an interference in the penalty area by Anthony Martial. But what a fine save by Keylor Navas. That's the second time he's been called into action today. And the Costa Rican veteran, a winner of Champions League medals, La Liga titles. What a save this is. Right from Fernandes' shot. And took a deflection as well, which didn't make things any easier for Navas. But a good save nevertheless. So that's the second good save he's had to make today. So the ball is at the other end now. And Manchester United have given away a corner. And Nottingham Forest bringing the big players up. Felipe, Niakate, Freuler, Williams are all up there. And they are absolutely flooding that penalty area and going over to take it. It looks like it's Lodi. And Renan Lodi is going to take this one. Awonyi's in there, Johnson's in there. Manchester United going to have to be very careful defensively here. Looks like they're going to in-swing this one into the 6-yard box to put more pressure on David De Gea. It's swung in by Lodi towards the back post, and it's bouncing around there and almost off the line, which I think was by Harry Maguire, but that was nearly turned in by Brennan Johnson. So Nottingham Forest, they've had their chances as well in this first half so far. Harry Maguire there just getting the final touch, I think, on that one. Let's take a look. It's bouncing out. Actually, yes, it's cleared away there. It's Brennan Johnson was just not able to turn it in. It seemed to bounce off the arm of Harry Maguire. I'm not sure he really knew too much about it, to be fair. He had that arm rested on another Manchester United player. I would hope that there wouldn't be a penalty given for that. But we'll see. It looks like the referee has held up play. Now they've determined that it's no penalty and it's going to be a throw-in. So a quick check by VAR, but no further action, and rightly so in my opinion. I think that would have been incredibly harsh to give that as a penalty. The throw-in taken by Nearcart. Again, it's a really long one. Finds Morgan Gibbs-White under pressure by Harry Maguire, who wins the ball back and clears it, but it's blocked. And Nottingham Forest get the ball forward with McKenna, who tries to find Taiwo Awonyi, but Harry Maguire does a good job marshalling Taiwo, and it's cleared forward. And once again, the ball is launched long, looking for Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho bulldozed his way through Morgan Gibbs-White there, and that's going to be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Still, Simon Hooper this season, not shown a single red card in any of his games. And so let's hope that maintains that stat today. We don't want to see players getting sent off. Here's Felipe now. He takes that free kick. He plays the ball long over on the far side to Scott McKenna. McKenna plays the ball forward there, but it's a good interception by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and he gives it to Eriksson. Eriksson plays the ball over the halfway line, and it's Bruno Fernandes now storming forward. Fernandes finds Sancho. Back to Fernandes. Fernandes drops it down to Dalot. His cross comes in. He whistles across the face of goal. And, Bruno Fernandes causing chaos there, but there was no Manchester United player there to tap the ball in. And it came off a quick 1-2 with Dalot. Fernandes was onside. There was no problem there. He whips the ball in. Navas goes down to try to stop it. It went into that corridor of uncertainty. Excuse me. But there was no Manchester United player chasing that one into the 6-yard box. So it goes behind for a goal kick, and Nottingham Forest can start from the back. Possession has been dominated by Manchester United, 71% in this first half, and they've given the ball away again to Forest, and here's Fernandes. Fernandes now finds Martial in the penalty area. He tries to play it across, but the official's flag has gone up, and it is offside. Well, it's been a fast start to the game. And Bruno Fernandes already causing some chaos in that Nottingham Forest defence. Nottingham Forest, of course, have the third worst defence in the league right now. Currently just ahead of Leeds United and Bournemouth. They're going to need to correct that if they're going to want to maintain another season in the Premier League. Nia Carter plays the ball forward looking for Awonyi. Awonyi stumbled and missed it, and it's picked up by Harry Maguire, who knocks it down to Victor Lindelof, who gives it to Dalot. Dalot plays it across the line of the 18-yard box to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And Wan-Bissaka goes back to David De Gea. And the ball is played forward now to Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire under pressure by Morgan Gibbs-White. Holds him off well, though. And he slips the ball to Casemiro. Casemiro, long ball over on the far side. That's good interception by Felipe. And gives it to Nico Williams. And Freuler is dispossessed there, but it does go back to McKenna. And McKenna is able to just tidy up and clear the ball back to the goalkeeper. And Morgan Gibbs-White now picks up the ball. It's dropped over on the far side to Danilo. Danilo plays the ball forward looking for Awonyi. It's a great ball. And good work there by Harry Maguire to stop Awonyi, because that was a beautiful slide rule pass through to Awonyi. But Maguire gets his foot on that, and he turns it behind. for a corner, and Nottingham Forest will have their second corner of the game here. And Felipe is just encouraging Forest players to load that penalty area to see if they can cause some chaos. The first corner did do that a little bit. Unfortunately, Brennan Johnson was not able to turn the ball in. But they're inside the 6-yard box there. Awonyi, Nia Carter, McKenna, Johnson. They are all in there, and Danilo as well. And it's going to be swung in by Morgan Gibbs-White. It's deep into the Manchester United penalty area. Oh, and McKenna was almost on the end of that. But it breaks loose, and Martial gives the ball to Jadon Sancho. Sancho, under pressure by Williams, just drops it back to Casemiro. Casemiro gives the ball across to Harry Maguire, and Maguire finds Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes over the halfway line, and he gives it to Ericsson. Back to Fernandes, across to Anthony Martial, surrounded by 2 or 3 Nottingham Forest defenders. Gives it to Ericsson, and it's Wan-Bissaka. Ericsson again, can he get the cross in? It's a good one swung in, and Keylor Navas couldn't handle it, but the rebound was cleared away. And but Manchester United come again now with Fernandes. It's Ericsson. Ericsson played across to Fernandes with a back heel. Well, Martial goes down, but the referee says no as Felipe clears his way to Brennan Johnson. Johnson plays it off Dalot, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester. Sorry, to Nottingham Forest. That ball came in again. You can see that. Well, he almost got on the end of it. Actually hit the post. It wasn't McKenna in the end that got the final touch. It looks like it was Harry Maguire who nearly scored the second own goal in as many games. But it bounced off the post there. And here's Dalot now for Manchester United. Drops it back to David De Gea. 25 minutes gone here. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 0. And here's Casemiro. Casemiro, beautiful ball. Straight down to this near side to Sancho, who drops it back to Diogo Dalot. And here is Victor Lindelof. Lindelof. Patient build up by Manchester United. It's with Harry Maguire now. And Maguire plays a ball just over the halfway line to Dalot. Dalot plays it forward to Sancho. Sancho now got 2 Forest players in front of him, Felipe and Williams. And here is Jadon Sancho. Sancho under pressure. Just knocked out of play by Nico Williams. It's going to be a throw-in. Nico Williams definitely played in a wing-back position today. It's more of a 5-3-2 for Nottingham Forest. And here is Maguire. Maguire in the centre circle gives the ball to Wan-Bissaka. Back to Harry Maguire on halfway line. And here's Victor Lindelof just looking for options here. Gives it to Ericsson. Ericsson plays down to Sancho. Sancho just plays the ball to Martial. Martial plays the ball across. It's Dalot with a cross and cleared behind by Danilo, and it will be a corner to Manchester United. Manchester United just trying to break their way through. Not having too much luck right now, but Nottingham Forest defending very well. Although the vast majority of possession has come to Manchester United, and Keylor Navas has made two or three excellent saves in this first half. It's swung in by Fernandes, and it's just headed out only as far as Dalot again though, and it's back with Fernandes. Fernandes long ball in, and Felipe gets a header on that and heads it out of play. He's been chasing it up there to try to win, stop the ball from going out of play. Good work and effort by him, but it is a throw into Manchester United. Here's Anthony, and it's with Casemiro now. Casemiro back with Ericsson. Ericsson just drops it back to the halfway line, and waiting for it is Victor Lindelof. Lindelof to Casemiro, good work by him. Just flicks it on to Wan-Bissaka. Over on the far side is Anthony now. Anthony cuts inside, the cross into the middle, hacked away there by Danilo, and Taiwo Awonyi just failing to control that. But here's Anthony, and it's back with Casemiro, back to Anthony, into the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka trying to get the cross in, but that is good work by Niakate. And it looks like it come off Wan-Bissaka last, although I'm not sure if he totally agrees with that, but it's going to be a goal kick. And we have 28 minutes gone here. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 0. And we've had chances at both ends, but so far we are scoreless here. And the goal kick will be taken by Keylor Navas. Felipe is down at the moment, so you're listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services, and Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. Felipe is back on his feet now. And the ball is played forward, and it's looking for Taiwo Awoniyi, but good work by Harry Maguire. He's done a good job, really, of marshalling Taiwo Awoniyi. He's a very tricky customer, is Awoniyi. He's very strong, he's very quick, and I think Harry Maguire has done a very good job in marshalling him today so far. Throw-in is going to be taken by Niakate. Again, goes for the long one. This time finds Taiwo Awoniyi, who knocks it back to Lodi. Lodi again over on the far side. And he just drops it back to McKenna. And there's Danielson, who gives it to Felipe. Felipe, long way out. He finds Nico Williams down this near side. Williams. And can he get the cross in? No, he pulls it back to oh, there's a shot just wide by Danilo, and that was a good effort, but it pulls it wide. I think really David De Gea had that covered all the way. Danilo just pulled away from Maguire there, and the shot just always going wide of the Manchester United goal. And Nottingham Forest, looks like it might have taken a deflection, actually. I'm not sure who of, but it's a corner to Nottingham Forest. Somewhat perplexed. I'm not sure who that really took a deflection of, but it's going to be a corner to Nottingham Forest nevertheless. It's going to be swung in by Morgan Gibbs-White. It's deep towards the back post, and just clears the crossbar and lands on the top of the net. And Morgan Gibbs-White there, I don't know if that was deliberate or whether he was just swinging it in, but it just clears the crossbar, lands on top of the net. Steve Cooper just shouting out some instructions, and Manchester United can now break forward with Diogo Dalla. Excuse me, Dalla, and he gives it to Ericsson. Ericsson forward to Martial. Martial dispossessed that time, but it comes back again, and here's Martial with a chance. It's in the penalty area. Martial, great save, and there's Anthony, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United. It's Anthony. It was a good save by Keylor Navas from Martial, but Anthony was there to tap into the empty net, and Manchester United take the 1-goal lead here at the City Ground, and that is disappointing for Nottingham Forest. They've worked very hard to maintain the lead, but the ball was a good one. It was won back. It was Danilo who was dispossessed, and it was played to Anthony. It was a good save by the goalkeeper. Played to Anthony Martial. It was a good save by the goalkeeper. Martial's tight angle, good save, but there was Anthony just with the whole of the net really to put the ball into. It really started from another Nottingham Forest turnover midway inside their own half, and Danilo was dispossessed, and the ball was played by Ericsson to Martial. Martial's shot was saved by the goalkeeper, but Anthony was there to tap the ball into the net, and Manchester United take an early lead and pile the pressure and misery on Steve Cooper and Nottingham Forest. It's a free kick from a foul by Niakate in the centre circle for Manchester United. Well, free kick is taken quickly and it's given to Diogo Dalla. Dalla played down this near side to Jadon Sancho, and Sancho is deemed to be offside. So it'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest, a chance for them just to regain their thoughts. And Steve Cooper is arguing with the fourth official, Jared Gillett, The ball is played long from the free kick, but it's headed out of play by Taiwo Awoniyi. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United. Forest haven't had a single shot on goal in this game yet. 4 attempts, but nothing on goal. 4 for Manchester United on goal from 6 attempts. So it's over with Aaron Wan-Bissaka now. Wan-Bissaka on the far side. He's midway inside his own half. He plays the ball forward to the goal scorer, Anthony, who gives it to Casemiro. Casemiro's ball is picked up by Danilo, though. And he plays it forward, but it's intercepted by Harry Maguire. Here's Casemiro. Wan-Bissaka gives it to Anthony. Anthony just looking at the options. He plays the ball over on the far side to Martial. Martial is intercepted by Brennan Johnson, but Dalot clears up that mess and gives it to Christian Eriksen, and Eriksen gives the ball back to Maguire, who gets the ball back off Maguire, and it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka now, and it's Anthony. Anthony just gives the ball to Sancho, and Sancho just gives the ball back to Eriksen. Eriksen plays the ball back to Sancho. Sancho is over on the right-hand side now, under pressure from Niakata. He's being pushed towards the corner flag. Sancho. Oh, and it's good work there by Lodi as well. Anthony finally comes over to help Sancho, but it's hacked away by Felipe. And headed away again by McKenna as Manchester United continue the pressure. It's headed back in, but here is Lodi just to head the ball away, but he only manages to get the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United. It's taken quickly by Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka gets the ball back off Anthony, and it's Eriksen now. Eriksen tries to find Bruno Fernandes, but he gets the ball back. It's now down with Dalot. Dalot, can he get the cross in? Oh, it takes a deflection off Felipe and goes behind for a corner to Manchester United, and we have 10 minutes to go till half time, and it's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1. And the corner is going to be taken probably again on the far side by Bruno Fernandes, but we'll just see. And well, the City ground is absolutely full today. The vast majority are not enjoying what they're seeing, though, it has to be said. Fernandes swings it in. It's headed out by Niakate. Good header, but to the edge of the penalty area. Fernandes knocks the ball in again, but only as far as Eriksen. Nico Williams gets on the end of that. And there is Niakate and gives it back to Williams. Williams plays the ball forward. And it looks like it took a deflection, and it seems to have gone out for a throw-in. And but it's a throw-in to Nottingham Forest, and it's going to be almost on the halfway line, which Felipe will take, and he throws it back to Niakate. Niakate drops it back to McKenna. McKenna over on the far side. Manchester United now with the lead are third in the table right now, and Awoniyi goes down. Maguire didn't seem to make contact with him at all, so Maguire comfortably picks up the ball. Awoniyi's still down. I just wonder whether he's done some damage. He's just getting back on his feet now. And here's Harry Maguire. Maguire drops it back to Lindelof. And Lindelof just plays the ball forward to Wan-Bissaka. And Wan-Bissaka plays the ball forward looking for Fernandes, but he was not able to control it, and it goes through to Niakate. And Niakate that's a wayward back pass, but Keylor Navas gets there, and he just plays the ball forward for Williams, and Williams flicks the ball on, but there's nobody there, and Diogo Dalot picks it up. And Eriksen now plays the ball back to David De Gea. De Gea just takes one touch, even though Johnson is closing in, and makes a good clearance to find Anthony. Anthony fouled. That's a free kick. And Manchester United will have a free kick just inside their own half. And Anthony is just getting on his feet now, and the free kick will be taken by Harry Maguire. And let's see what he can do with this one. He plays the ball into Casemiro. Casemiro, first time ball looking for Anthony. And it's headed by Lodi out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. Well, that was a good ball. Lodi just heads the ball out of play. It's level with the Manchester United penalty, with the Nottingham Forest penalty area, but Manchester United are going all the way back. They're being pressed back by Nottingham Forest. Here's Lindelof. Lindelof over the halfway line. Gives it to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka over on the far side to Anthony. Anthony now cuts inside. He's just holding the ball up. He gives it back to Wan-Bissaka. There's not a lot of options. Wan-Bissaka to Casemiro. Played across the field to Ericsson. Ericsson just lifts the ball over the top there, looking for Martial, but Niakate is on the end of that one to intercept it. But Ericsson wins the ball back off Morgan Gibbs-White, and Manchester United can press again. And it's Anthony. Gives the ball to Fernandes. Back to Anthony. Fernandes swings the ball in, but there's nobody there. But coming in is Sancho now and putting Williams under pressure. Williams forced to knock the ball out of play for a throw into Manchester United. About 8 yards from the corner flag on this near side. And the throw-in's taken quickly. It's dropped back to Lindelof. Lindelof gives it to back to Dalot. Back to back to Lindelof. Lindelof to Maguire. And Wan-Bissaka on the far side. And it's Fernandes. Fernandes down to Anthony. Anthony just trying to cut inside. Drops it back to Fernandes. Back to Anthony. To Ericsson. Ericsson. Over to Sancho. Sancho got some time. What's he going to do? He's got Williams in front of him, and his pass is wayward and intercepted by Danilo. And now Williams can now break. Gives the ball to Brennan Johnson, but it's just too far ahead of him. And Victor Lindelof cuts across and tidies up, and it's going to be a throw-in to Nottingham Forest. It's taken quickly by Nico Williams. And Remo Freuler now has the ball. And he gives the ball to Niakate, who gives it to Scott McKenna. And here's Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White just drops it back to Niakate. Just looking at the touches in the opposition box, Nottingham Forest have 7, Manchester United have 12. Just gives some idea of the dominance of this game. Naves just clears the ball downfield. And Johnson trying to win that header. It looks like it come off Johnson and will be a throw into Manchester United. Keylor Navas has played very well in this first half, made a few really good saves. Obviously can't be at fault for the goal. Defensively, Nottingham Forest exposed really during that goal. Here is Harry Maguire. Maguire just drops it back to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof over on the far side to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Bissaka gives it to Casemiro. Casemiro, it's a wonderful ball by Casemiro, just picked up by Bruno Fernandes. He really is one of the best passers I've ever seen, is Casemiro. He's able to play these long one-time passes and they just land at the feet of where he's aiming them for. Really excellent work by him in this first half. And it's going to be a throw into Nottingham Forest, midway inside their own half. Here's Freuler, knocks the ball forward, looking for Felipe. And here's Morgan Gibbs-White, just plays the ball to Nico Williams now. Breaking forward, let's see what he can do. Nico Williams just dropped it back to Morgan Gibbs-White. And it's with Felipe there. And it's down there with Danilo. Danilo plays the ball long over on the far side. The cross comes in for a Wanye, and it's well dealt with by Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is claiming he was fouled. We'll just see what the referee is given here, whether it's going to be a corner or whether it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. The cross was by Danilo. He looked onside to me, didn't look any problem there. The cross was knocked in by Gibbs-White, but it looks like a Wanye may have bulldozed Victor Lindelof there, and that's exactly what has been given. It is a free kick. And David De Gea will now restart the game. 258 passes by Manchester United with an 86% accuracy rating. That is incredibly impressive. 2 minutes to go till half time here at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1. And here is Dalot. Dalot and it's knocked down there by Martial to Ericsson. Ericsson. And it's back with Dallo. Dallo over on the far side to Harry Maguire. Maguire over to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Bissaka over the halfway line. And he just gives it to Casemiro. Casemiro, the simple ball to Ericsson. Manchester United threatening again. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes, oh, his ball is dreadful, and Morgan Gibbs-White can now start a break for Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White, Johnson is overlapping. Oh, but Morgan Gibbs-White is a poor one, but it comes to Awoniyi! Oh, what a chance! Oh, and he knows it. Well, the pass to Brennan Johnson by Morgan Gibbs-White really was a poor one, but it just deflected off Dallo. He didn't control it very well, and that allowed Awoniyi to run onto that shot. Oh, that was a chance. Awoniyi's got to hit the target from there. Oh, and that is disappointing for him. And it's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United. And it's David De Gea. It looks like they're going to go for the long goal kick here, rather than that ridiculous short one. It's long downfield by David De Gea, and headed on. It was just knocked on there by Martial, but that's Sancho that's gone down. The referee has not given a free kick, and the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. He's clutching his head, so the referee didn't stop it either. He's now realised that it's a head injury, and it looks like he's stopped the game. And you can see, oh yes, it's an elbow there by Nico Williams. It's not deliberate, but and it's not a swinging elbow. Certainly not worthy of any additional scrutiny. But definitely the chance that that would have been unpleasant for Jadon Sancho. So we do have 2 minutes stoppage time given by Jared Gillett. So we're into that now. So let's see what Nottingham Forest can do, or Manchester United can do before half time. Here's Harry Maguire. Bruno Fernandes. Over on the far side to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka plays it to Martial. Martial just turns away from McKenna. Martial slips the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes back to Ericsson, edge of the penalty area, to Diogo Dalot. Dalot back to Ericsson. Ericsson swings across in, and there's a header! Oh, and it's Bruno Fernandes, and he should have doubled Manchester United's lead for sure there. What a chance! And Dalot gets the ball originally back to Ericsson. It's a superb cross. Oh, that is a dreadful miss. He's 8 yards out, and Bruno Fernandes has to put that away, and he directs it wide. Navas was beaten. Oh, if that was on target, that was 2-0. What a chance for Manchester United. And it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and he gives the ball now to Bruno Fernandes as, again, Manchester United. Scott McKenna intercepts there, but Danilo loses the ball. Not for the first time. But Anthony is unable to keep the ball in play, and it goes out for a throw-in. As we approach the last 20 seconds of the 2 minutes of stoppage time, we'll see if the referee adds on any additional time. Remember, it's a minimum of 2 minutes. Ericsson just heads the ball onwards to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka now moving forward. Once again, just pressure from United. Here's Anthony. Anthony back to Wan-Bissaka. We are almost at the halfway stage now. The ref, that's it. And Simon Hooper blows the whistle for half time. And the goal from Anthony on 31 minutes separates the two teams. But both Taiwo Awoniyi and Bruno Fernandes have had chances to add to the scoreline. But at half-time, it's at the City Ground. It's a dominant Manchester United. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1. Ross, back to you.
Thank you very much there to Paul James for excellent first half commentary on Manchester United's 1-goal advantage against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground at the break, as we leave you as Paul leaves you for a few minutes for half time. Let's have a look around the other scores on the doors in just a moment or two. But first, I'm just going to take a quick couple of minute break. But when I return, I'll go through the scores on the doors at half time. Don't go anywhere, you're listening to the brilliant and the best commentary. The commentary hub. Welcome back to the commentary hub's coverage of the Premier League clash between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United, the home of alternative commentary, and this is not an official product of the Premier League. I'm Russ Vernon, and I'm alongside Paul James, who will guide you through the second half shortly. Let's just take a look around the grounds and the latest scores from today's matches. Early on in the Premier League, Arsenal 2. Let me rephrase that. Early in today in the Premier League, West Ham United 2, Arsenal 2. And at half time is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1. In the Premier League 2, Everton under 21s 1, Liverpool under 21s 1. Manchester City under 21s 3, Chelsea 1. Women's Championship, Charlton 2, Durham 0, Lewes 1, Blackburn 0, Sunderland 0, Bristol City 5, Coventry United 0, Sheffield United 4, Crystal Palace 2, Birmingham City 4, Southampton 1, London City Lionesses 0. Women's FA Cup, Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 1. French Ligue 1. Full-time scores, Lille 2, Montpellier 1, Auxerre 2, Nantes 1, Brest 1, Nice 0, Clermont 2, Angers 1, Strasbourg 3, AC Jacques 1. Latest score after 61 minutes is Monaco 3, Lorient 0. Marseille Victoire is an evening kick-off at 7:45. German Bundesliga, Werder Bremen 1, Freiburg 2, half-time, Union Berlin 1, Bochum 0. Wolfsburg v Leipzig is an evening kick-off at 6:30. All times are UK. Italian Serie A, Lecce 1, Sampdoria 1, Torino 1, Salernitana 1, Sassuolo 0, Juventus 0, 23 minutes gone. And the evening kick-off is Roma v Udinese. Kick-off at 7:45 UK time. In the Nigerian Premier League, there's some matches, results I can tell you, some latest scores I'll be able to tell you. I'll tell you those a little bit later on. Scottish Premiership, I'll tell you those just before we round down the show later. Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 4. Spanish La Liga, Girona 2, Elche 0. Getafe 0, Barcelona 0. Evening kick-off at 5:30, Atletico Madrid against Almeria. And another evening kick-off at 8 o'clock is Valencia v Sevilla. In the MLS, I'll tell you all those results later, but tonight is the battles of Los Angeles. It's LA Galaxy against LAFC at 9:30 p.m. UK time this evening. We'll tell you some of the other results a little bit later on. Let's just bring in Paul James, who's back with us right now. And are you there, Paul?
Yeah. Hi, Ross.
Hi, Paul. Brilliant first half commentary, my friend. What have you made to the overall performance? Start off with Manchester United who are leading at half time thanks to that Anthony goal to 0. What's your thoughts overall on that first half for Man United?
Well, I think for Manchester United, they've dominated the game for the most part. I think Nottingham Forest have done what they've done in recent weeks. They've invited pressure, they've defended too deep, and I think that the scoreline, I don't think anybody can have. I think even the most hardened Nottingham Forest fan cannot have any complaints about the scoreline. The goal itself was, of course, it was a good save by Keylor Navas, but defensively, again, Anthony's there to just tap the ball into the net. It's one of those. Forest have had chances, of course, with Taiwo Awoniyi having the best of them, but they really haven't forced David De Gea into any real save.
Yeah, absolutely. And from the first angle on that goal, Paul, I could tell on the replay that I did come off Anthony last and it was Anthony's goal. But on the first look at it from the angle I was looking at it from, it looked as though Lodi had put it into his own net. But when you looked at it from behind the goal and the other angles, you could see that Anthony got there. So Lodi was just a bit unlucky to try and put, I think he was coming in to try and put him off. Let's just touch on Nottingham Forest. Obviously, had 4 attempts at goal, 2 off target, 2 block shots, not on target just then, just 30% of possession, which we know what sort of team Manchester United can be. When I read off those stats, they've had 4 attempts at goal, but none on target yet. They really need to start working down the area a bit more, because we've seen in recent weeks, Man United up near the top of the table, and the performance in that first half showed that. Were at times in this season, should I say, De Gea has been making some good saves, but also making some errors when shots have coming at him. Do you think Forest need to get on the ball a bit more and create chances and test down there a bit more, because the shot stopping can be a bit poor at times?
Well, yes, I think they do need to become more positive Nottingham Forest, because they're not being positive enough right now. They're not the passing, the creative play is not the best. They're relying to catch Manchester United on the break, but Awoniyi is being well marshalled at the moment by Maguire. It has to be said. Brennan Johnson is not getting the ball enough. Brennan Johnson's got pace and he's got the ability to score goals, but he's not getting the ball enough for me.
He's not getting the ball quick enough for me either, Paul, and so he needs a bit of crunching there. Just while he was talking, I was trying to eat a bit of some crisps that I've got in the studio while we were talking there, Paul. But when you look at Nottingham Forest, when they've got forward, they haven't got Johnson or Awoniyi in enough. Like I said, there was that chance where Johnson going down the left hand side and Wan-Bissaka had to come across and he won a throw-in for him, but we've not really seen much of that. Also, from a Forest standpoint, for them trying to get back into the game, the long throws from near Kartik causing them a few problems defensively, causing Man United a few problems defensively. So for me, I think they need to try and do that and try and cause a few more problems defensively. Where do you think Forest can hurt Manchester United? Do you think it's from those long throws from near Carter, which is the more likely in set plays, or do you think to try and be more expansive in the attacking third when they're moving forward and getting Gibbs White, Brennan Johnson, Tara Aroni into the game a bit more? Which out of those two scenarios there, Paul, I've just then mentioned, do you think is Forest's best avenue to get back into this game?
Well, they certainly need to be more expansive anyway, but they certainly look most threatening from those long throws from near Carter. It seems to be causing some problems in that Manchester United defence. However, they do need to become more expansive. They do need to create more, because at the moment they're behind and they're not looking like they're going to score. So they have to try to get themselves back into this game. They have to try to be more positive in the second half. They have to bring Johnson into the game more. They have to bring Awonyi into the game more. And Awonyi himself, well, he had Forest's best chance in the first half in my mind, but he has to try to get himself away from Maguire.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. And just one point in the first half as well. There was a chance for a potential penalty for Nottingham Forest when appeared that Harry Maguire had handled the ball. I've seen some images and it looked as though two or three Nottingham Forest Man United players were going for the ball. Maguire, Lindelof, and I think it was Dello the other one. And Maguire's arm is out. Do you think? Why do you think the referee didn't give that penalty decision in favour of Nottingham Forest? Because for me, when I've seen it back as well, it looked a penalty.
Not for me. But I think the main reason is the fact that although he had his arm out, he was resting his arm on a Manchester United player at the time. I don't think he could see the ball. I don't think he could see the ball where the ball was landing. I think that would have been incredibly harsh to have given that as a penalty. I don't think he knew anything about it. It's not like he moved his hand towards the ball. It's not like he had his arm out blocking a shot. The ball just landed on his arm and the fact that he had his arm on a Manchester United, on one of his own players, probably didn't help his cause there. It's no way he could have got his arm out of the way of that. And I do realise, under the circumstances, with the crazy handball rule right now, that these sort of things do get given. I can certainly accept that. But for me, I'm glad they didn't give that. I just hope they don't start opening doors to penalties and things like that, because I think for me that was... there's no way he could have known whether that ball was going to strike his hand. There's just no way.
Yeah, so with second half fast approaching, then Paul, as we were getting ready to get onto the second half in a minute or so, as the teams are getting ready to come back out in a second or so as well. If I were to ask you for a full-time prediction, do you think, I won't ask you for the exact score line, would you think it's going to be do you think Man United will be coming away with 3 points from this? Or, from what you've seen of Forest moving forward, when they've got Johnson in the attack and Johnson's pace against the Man United defence, do you think Forest can get something out of this, or do you think Man United are going to run away with all 3 points this afternoon?
Well, based on what I've seen so far, Manchester United are going to win the game. I think if Nottingham Forest can bring Johnson and Awonyi into the game more, I think they do have a chance, because I think Johnson and Awonyi are capable of hurting Manchester United. Morgan Gibbs White, creating those chances as well. I think definitely they can get back into the game, but that's going to depend on whether or not they can bring Awonyi and Johnson into the game or not. We're going to have to see a much improved Nottingham Forest team in the second half. A much improved team.
Absolutely, Paul, absolutely. Forest are already out there. Manchester United are making their way out of the tunnel for the second half. Let's hand over to match commentator to Paul James for the second half. Forest starting the second half with the start of the day in the bottom 3. Can they get out of it? Find out in the company of Paul James, or should I say PJ, in the second half.
Thanks, Ross. Welcome back, everybody. The two teams are out for the second half now. There doesn't appear to have been any substitutions, so both teams happy to continue with their starting 11. And the game is back underway with Nottingham Forest now attacking the Trent end in the second half. Let's see if that noisy Trent end can encourage Nottingham Forest to get back into this game. And the ball is played back there by McKenna to the goalkeeper, Keylor Navas, who plays the ball out long. It was looking for Nico Williams. The ball is headed out of play by Diogo Dalla, and it's going to be a throw in to Nottingham Forest. There is Eric Ten Hag. Well, he's had a very successful first season at Manchester United, given the mess that he took over. It has to be said. I mean, short of that 7-0 defeat to Liverpool, Manchester United have been quite brilliant as the season has gone on. So it's going to be a throw-in now to this time to Manchester United. It's Diogo Dalot, just looking for options. And he's just stolen a few yards there, and he tries a long throw, but it's won by Niakate, but Niakate is not able to keep the ball in play. And once again, we're going to have another throw-in for Manchester United. So the second half, we'll see if Nottingham Forest can get themselves back into this game, as Russ said. I think we're going to need to see a much improved Nottingham Forest side if we are going to see that happen. Here's Aaron Wan-Bissaka, gives it back to David De Gea, who clears it long. It's won there by Danilo, and he heads the ball forward looking for Gibbs White. It's knocked on. There's Freuler, just heads the ball, he's trying to get it down. Nico Williams gets the ball on the deck now. Williams gets the cross in, but it's blocked by Dalot, and they're claiming handball. And there was several of the Nottingham Forest players that are claiming that. We'll take another look at that in a moment. And here's Bruno Fernandes, plays the ball forward, and it's Anthony. Anthony tries to play the ball. It's blocked by Danilo, but it comes to Eriksen. Oh, good interception by Freuler. Freuler finds Johnson, but Johnson is dispossessed. And here's Martial. Martial. He's got Sancho down that far side. Back with Martial. And here's Casemiro, intercepted by Awoniyi. Good work by him. And here's Taiwo now over the halfway line. And he plays the ball to Brennan Johnson. And it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. And we just waited to have a look at that penalty. Our producer and presenter there, Ross, has said no penalty for me. I actually have to have a look at it again to form an opinion, and I think we might get that look now. Oh, I don't know. It's a lot more like a penalty than the first one, I'll tell you that. He moved his hand toward the ball there. That's the difference. I would say that's a lot more of a penalty than the first one, but I mean, it did come up at some speed. So, but for me, I've seen them given. He moves his hand towards the ball. Let's face it. All right. Well, no penalty has been given. There's been no VAR check, so the game will continue. And here is Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka is played forward by Eriksen, and here's Bruno Fernandes, and it goes out of play. And here's Bruno Fernandes again after the throw-in. It's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka to Maguire, who gives it back to the goalkeeper, David De Gea. David De Gea just plays it short to Sancho, and he gives it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Casemiro, I should say. Surely there's a foul there, but the referee says no, or he allows the game to go on. Here's Jadon Sancho, cuts across the edge of the penalty area, gives it to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes back to Sancho, who plays it across, and there's no Manchester United player there. And Anthony wins the ball back, but that was right across the 6-yard box again in that corridor of uncertainty. It goes behind for a corner now, but look at this. It's a nice pass by Fernandes. Beautiful ball across. Where are the Manchester United forwards? Because it's just begging to be tapped into the net there. Took a deflection as well, but it's behind now for a corner, I think. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's a corner, and it's going to be Bruno Fernandes who takes it short to Anthony. Anthony tries a shot. It's curling away from Keylor Navas' goal, and it's just beating the right-hand post of Keylor Navas and going wide, right on the corner of the penalty area. It was a great effort by the Brazilian. He's already got one today, and it's just behind, and it's going to be a goal kick. 1-0 to Manchester United. 5 minutes gone in the second half. It's knocked on now, and that was knocked on by Lodi, but Manchester United come away with it. It didn't find Morgan Gibbs-White. And here's Sanchez now storming towards the penalty area. And Diogo Dalot picks it up. Dalot is under pressure. And it's won back by Nico Williams as he tries to break away for Forest. Here's Felipe. What are his options? He tries to play the ball forward, but it bounces off Jadon Sancho, and it's going to be a throw-in to to Nottingham Forest. Well, and Felipe will take the throw-in. He launches it long, looking for Taiwo Awoniyi, and the ball is broken loose, and Manchester United are able to pick it up. Over the halfway line is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, gives it to Anthony. Anthony to Casemiro, long ball forward. Good work by Neil Karte, blocking the pass off. Neil Karte gets it to Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White does a quick 1-2 with Danilo, and Gibbs-White has got Taiwo Awoniyi now coming towards the penalty area, but Awoniyi is not able to control it. But it looks like he's in an offside position anyway. Disappointing by Taiwo Awoniyi, but I just wonder. Yes, he's offside anyway. Just got behind Maguire, but before the pass was played. So the official raised his flag, and it's going to be a free kick, which has been taken quickly. 2 offsides apiece in this game. Morgan Gibbs-White wins the ball back in midfield. Gibbs-White, and he's got overlapping on the far side is Williams. Williams gets across in. Awoniyi! Oh, he's just not able to direct on goal. And the chance again was there for Taiwo Awoniyi. And the cross comes in here. Oh, it's just had difficulty. It was a little bit behind him. He just had some difficulty in directing that header towards goal. But Nottingham Forest just looking a little bit more spry in the second half. It's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United, which is taken short. And here is Harry Maguire. Maguire across to Victor Lindelof. Lindelof holding the ball up. Just looking for options. He plays the ball across there to Fernandez. And here now is Jadon Sanchez up against Felipe. Sanchez to Fernandez again, racing forward. And it's played off Danilo and goes out for a throw-in. And Danilo is now limping. I do wonder whether perhaps a substitution is on the cards here. Here's Anthony. Anthony just gets the ball back, and he goes all the way to Harry Maguire. Maguire just plays the ball forward there for Martial, but Martial is immediately dispossessed with Neil Karte. But the ball forward by Danilo is not a good one, and it just ends up finding Harry Maguire. And he goes back to the goalkeeper. Well, listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. And it's back with David De Gea now. And David De Gea will launch it right-footed downfield. It's a long ball and a really good one that finds Jadon Sancho. Sancho drops it back to Martial. Martial, and it's out with Eriksen. And here's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's got Anthony alongside him. Anthony, just looking for what options are available. He gives it to Eriksen. Eriksen back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And here's Harry Maguire. And it's with Eriksen. Eriksen swings the ball in. And just trying to win that is Martial. But good work by Felipe. Good defending there. And the ball is cleared away. But Lindelof picks it up. And here's Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes. And he just touches the ball to Anthony. And Anthony fails to control it. But Martial has it. He gives it to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka tries to get a shot away. But it's blocked. He gives it back to Eriksen. Is Eriksen going to cross this one in? He does. Oh, chasing into the penalty area there was Bruno Fernandes, but it was just above his head. And here's Sancho. Back to Anthony. Sancho again. He's looking for Fernandes, but cutting across there really well is Felipe. He might just have taken the ball out of play. He has, and it's going to be a corner to Manchester United. 1-0 to Manchester United with 10 minutes gone in the second half at the Sea Ground. Bruno Fernandes is trying to extend Manchester United's lead. This is their 5th corner. He's going to swing this one in. We'll see. Martial is in there. Maguire is in there. And of course, Casemiro, he's been known to score with the head. It's short to Eriksen, back to... Oh, I say! What a save! Oh, I say! It bounced off the crossbar from Bruno Fernandes! Oh, and it's back with Anthony. Oh, well, that was completely unexpected from Fernandes. And now here's a chance for Sancho. Sancho cuts inside, but it's surrounded by Nottingham Forest players. And it's back to Anthony, strikes a shot, but it's blocked. And it goes behind for another corner. Let's look at this one again. Fernandes just hits it first time, but that is one of the best saves I've seen all season by Keylor Navas. And he just saves it, he knocks it onto the post. And somehow Manchester United are still only 1 goal up. And Nottingham Forest are still in this game. Keylor Navas, absolutely outstanding. And the cross is, the corner gets another opportunity, and again he plays it short to Eriksen, and Eriksen strikes it this time. It takes 1 or 2 deflections, but it comes out to the edge of the penalty area again. It's launched in, this time by Anthony. It's punched out by Navas again. Launched into the box 1 more time. Good work by Lodi, who just heads it behind for a corner. Well, what a superb save. This game will be out of sight if it wasn't for Keylor Navas today. He's made 4 or 5 excellent saves. This game would be done if it wasn't for him. And Eriksen now. And he's just going to outswing this one. Just going to see what he does. Yeah, he does go for the outswing, and it's headed out by Niakate. And Johnson trying to bring the ball under control, but he's dispossessed by Anthony. And Manchester United continue to pile on the pressure. Anthony will get a shot away, and it just whistles wide of Navas' goal on the right-hand side. Well, Anthony very unlucky there. Johnson dispossessed on the edge of his own penalty area, really. And it just cut across there. So good effort, but always just going wide of the goal. And Nottingham Forest can breathe again. But boy, they've been under some pressure. And looking at that save again, what a stop! What a stop! Oh, there's a reason why Keylor Navas has been ranked as amongst the best goalkeepers in the world, and there's the reason right there. And now we've got a free kick, stoppage in play. Casemiro just moving away from it right now. Manchester United have had 5 attempts, 1 attempt on goal in this second half. Of course, that was that save. Here's Martial. Martial, ball, that ball is pulled by Martial. It's intercepted by White. Niakate plays the ball long. He's looking for Brennan Johnson, but it's good work really by Maguire. Just knocks it back to the goalkeeper. The clearance, so Nottingham Forest win it back, and it's Freuler. And challenge on Nico Williams there. And that's followed up by a challenge by Felipe on Bruno Fernandes. And it looks like Bruno Fernandes is not happy with that challenge. And he's on his feet now. And the free kick is taken quickly. But it was closed down quickly there by Lodi. And it's going to be a throw-in. So here's Harry Maguire. Inside the centre circle, just drops it back to Lindelof. Lindelof over on the far side to Dalot. He's got Sancho alongside him. Sancho cuts inside. Back to Martial, gives it to Martial, who goes back to Dalla. Martial, 25 yards out. They're just passing it between them, Martial and Dalla right now. And Dalla now just trying to get away from Freuler. That's a good interception by Williams, but it does fall back to Manchester United, and it's Sancho, and he gives the ball to Dalla. Dalla to Fernandes, edge of the area. Fernandes with a shot, and another fine save by Keylor Navas. Just gets down to his right-hand side and makes a very smart save. And once again, he keeps Nottingham Forest in this game. May have been going wide, but I don't know if he could have taken that chance. It took a deflection. Good work. And breathes a sigh of relief there with half an hour to go. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1. Another corner for Manchester United. Swung in, Navas gets a punch on it. It's a good one to the edge of the penalty area. To Anthony, back to Ericsson. Ericsson launches the ball back in, headed away. And Casemiro there under pressure. And it's won back by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but Awoniyi also gets a foot on that, and it's going to be a throw into Manchester United. Well, again, Manchester United really putting on the pressure. And that really wasn't a foul, by the way, on Fernandes. Felipe won the ball, but Fernandes went down and got up complaining. But that free kick was, in fact, given. Felipe has been probably one of Nottingham Forest's best players, really, with his defensive work, his hard work and his commitment, as shown today. And the ball is now with Niakate. Niakate plays the ball across to Felipe, and it's over to Williams. Williams now, he's got a bit of space in front of him to run over the halfway line. Williams gives it to Morgan Gibbs-White. Back to Williams. He cuts across the middle of the pitch and gives it to Niakate. Niakate down this near side to McKenna. McKenna plays the ball to Loddy, and Loddy just knocks it back to McKenna, and he goes all the way back inside his own half to Niakate as Manchester United pressing the Reds back. And Felipe, again, good work by him, but he's almost lost it there, but he's still got it over the halfway line. Inspired run by Felipe, and he's looking for options, and at the moment there isn't much for him. Finally, Brennan Johnson has it. Johnson gives it back to Felipe. Johnson tries to get the cross in, and David De Gea comes and pulls that out of the air with relative ease, and he releases it quickly to Anthony. And Anthony over the halfway line. Still no substitutes by either side yet. We're past the hour mark. And it's back with Harry Maguire now as Manchester United just drop back. Nottingham Forest still in the relegation zone. They have Everton have a superior goal difference. So they are level on points at the moment. And that's Sancho. Gives it to Fernandes. Fernandes looking for options in front of him. There's a foul there on Fernandes, who gets up complaining. Morgan Gibbs-White wonders what's wrong with him. We'll take another look at that in a moment. We are going to have a substitution now. We are going to see Orel Mangala, and I'm just trying to see who the other one is. I think it's Joe Worrell. No, it is Sam Surridge. So it's Surridge and Mangala coming on when the substitutes are going to be made. But they're not going to do that now. It is a free kick to Manchester United. And it is about 25 yards out, which Bruno Fernandes is standing over. Naves just organising his wall. And it's taken quickly. Oh, it's just dinked over the top to Ericsson. Good save again. And Ericsson with a chance there to increase the lead. That was a really clever free kick. It's offside anyway, but that was a really clever free kick by Bruno Fernandes. Just played it over the top, chasing in. There was Ericsson. You can just see it here. Looks like he might have just strayed into an offside position, but it's going to be a free kick now to Nottingham Forest. So Taiwo Awoniyi is coming off, and coming on for Taiwo Awoniyi is Sam Surridge, and Freuler, the captain, Memo Freuler, is coming off, and Orel Mangala is coming on. Those are our first substitutions. Orel Mangala wears the number 5, and Sam Surridge wears 16. So disappointing afternoon for Taiwo Awoniyi. Here's Surridge now. Is he fouled there? The referee says yes. And Sam Surridge there was brought down. Harry Maguire, the culprit there. And it's going to be a free kick. And Sam Surridge now, his involvement in the game is immediate. Let's see if he can help bring Nottingham Forest back into this game. Morgan Gibbs-White is over this one, but also is Loddy. And McKenna just having words in the ear of Felipe. as Nottingham Forest concoct a plan here to try to get back into this game. 65 minutes gone. It's 1-0 to Manchester United at the City Ground. Let's see if Nottingham Forest can score in front of the Trent end. Gibbs White launches it in, and it's headed just behind by Nico Williams. He got on the end of that, and he just drops it wide. It's going to be a goal kick. And the goal kick is taken quickly, and it's not good enough. Forest have won the ball back with Morgan Gibbs White. Gibbs White then attempts to play a pass, but it's well won back. And it's Mangala there that won that back. He gives it to Felipe. And it's down this near side now to Lodi. Lodi swings the ball in, and good take by David De Gea. Good work by him, and he releases it to Casemiro. Casemiro over the halfway line, and actually it's Jadon Sancho, and he's held by Williams, and it's a professional foul. Williams is going to get booked for that. No question about that. He's got a great big handful of Jadon Sancho's shirt there. And it's a free kick. And the free kick's in a fairly dangerous position. It's on the corner of the penalty area, so by the corner of the penalty area, but almost by the touchline. One certainly that Bruno Fernandes could swing in. And Bruno Fernandes is over this one now. Just wait and see what happens. It's gonna swing it in, and it's headed, cleared away by Felipe, out to Morgan Gibbs White, who heads it on, is looking for Brennan Johnson, but Manchester United win the ball back. It's Eriksson. Eriksson just gives it to Fernandes, and Fernandes plays it across field, and Sam Surrey is just not able to intercept that. Unlucky for him, but it goes to Anthony. Casemiro, back to Anthony. Anthony just tries to beat. Just tried to beat Lodi there, but he's not able to. It's a fine challenge by Lodi, and it goes out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in. And it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He throws it back to Harry Maguire. And Maguire plays it across to Lindelof inside the centre circle. Still 1-0 to Manchester United. Lindelof. Lindelof plays it forward to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Back to Lindelof. And he goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, David De Gea. As Manchester United just slow the game right down right now. They have chosen not to make any substitutions as of yet. It's a long clearance by David De Gea, but clearing up is McKenna. Scott McKenna just goes right back to the goalkeeper, Keylor Navas, who's been quite brilliant today. Here is Mangala. Mangala over on the far side. Back with Mangala now. And gives it to Niakate. McKenna forward to Lodi. Lodi's pass, he almost gave the ball away to Anthony there, and McKenna does end up losing the ball. It's intercepted, and it's back with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and it actually goes out of play, and it will be a throw in to Manchester United. Final touch coming off Niakate there. Anthony Martial claiming a foul, and the referee says no. Steve Cooper is just shouting out his instructions there, trying to get Nottingham Forest back into this game. Manchester United really still in control of it. The ball is long, and it's just dealt with there by McKenna. It's headed on by Mangala, and trying to win that back is Lodi, but Lodi goes down and he looks injured. And Manchester United now breaking forward, and it's Dalot, and he gives the ball to Sancho. Back to Dalot. Dalot just tries to play the ball into the penalty area, but there's nobody there. And Nottingham Forest clear that one now. And it goes all the way back into the Manchester United half. And Eriksson plays the ball forward, looking for Fernandes. Fernandes just got a touch there to Casemiro. Well, casual ball. Mangala just got an interception on that, knocks it out of play. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United on the halfway line. We're going to see Wout Weghorst, who is going to be coming on for Manchester United. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka now has the ball. Maintains it under the challenge from Surridge. Wan-Bissaka drops the ball back to Eriksson. Eriksson plays the ball forward to Anthony. Anthony cuts across. He's got options. He gives it to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka plays the ball out nicely to Casemiro. Casemiro's crossing is a beautiful one, and it's a header by Martial. What a chance! Oh, he puts it wide. Anthony Martial, he must be wondering how he missed that. The cross came in from Casemiro. Well, you have to say a forward of Anthony Martial's quality has to be putting that in the net, but he puts it wide, and that will be the last action for Anthony Martial, as he will now be replaced by Wout Weghorst, whose goal-scoring capability has certainly not been that on the level of Anthony Martial. So the change by Eric Ten Hag might be to more hold-up play than anything else. But Martial is making his way off the field now. And Weghorst comes on as the first substitution for Manchester United. Well, we have 19 minutes left, and you are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by the brilliant Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. And that is a throw-in, and to be taken quickly. Wout Weghorst is on now. My producer Russ thinks it probably could have an eye on the second leg of the Europa League, which is fairly possible. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White now. And coming forward and going into the penalty. It's an inspired run, and it's played across, and it misses everybody and almost goes in. Well, that was Nico Williams, by the way. He just got inside the penalty area. It was an inspired run, which really started just over the halfway line. He gets into the penalty area, does Williams, and he's not challenged enough. It's going to be a corner to Nottingham Forest because it did come off Lindelof. But it almost went in, and that was very, very sloppy defending from Manchester United. And now the corner is going to be taken by Morgan Gibbs-White. It's going to be swung in to that 6-yard box and try to cause more havoc. It's headed over the crossbar, though, by Felipe. He just gets in front of Casemiro and just gets the header in. But, he just he's not able to keep it down. It was always going over because he just wasn't able to get his head over it. And it's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United. Felipe, head in the air. Well, Steve Cooper the same. And it's going to be a goal kick, and Manchester United can start again from the back. But Forest have had a few chances in this game, and they're going to have to start taking them. That's a bad ball, and it's picked up by Mangala. Mangala loses it, though, and here's Jadon Sancho for Manchester United. Jadon Sancho infield to Bruno Fernandes, midway inside the Forest half. Here's Anthony. Anthony cuts across the goal. It's a fine save again. Oh, what a save again by Keylor Navas. And the ball is played long, and Forest chasing this one down, hoping to catch Manchester United on the break. But that is good defending by Diogo Dalla. Well, Navas was helped along the way there by one of his defenders. I think it was Niakate. Let's take a look at it again. Anthony just gets the shot away. Oh, it's a fine save, and it was Niakate. It was across the face of goal. It may or may not have been going in. I can't say for certain. But it was, again, another good save. And, well, with 16 minutes to go, Nottingham Forest can thank one man that they're still in this game, and that's Keylor Navas. It's a long throw taken by Niakate. It's launched into the penalty area. It's headed out by Bruno Fernandes. And it's a long ball over this time to Lodi. Lodi back heels it to Surridge. Surridge gives the ball to Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White, his cross is blocked by Casemiro, but clearing up is Mangala. And Mangala just plays it all the way back to Navas, and gives it back to Mangala, and Mangala returns it back to Navas. It is 1-0 with 15 minutes to go to Manchester United here at the City Ground. And Surridge goes up with the header. And Bruno Fernandes is over this one. Fernandez just gives it to Eriksson. Eriksson plays the ball forward here to Veghorst. Veghorst almost loses it, but it bounces nicely to Anthony. Anthony trying to cut it inside, but clearing up at the back here is Mangala. He plays the ball forward, looking for Sam Surridge, but it's way out of his reach. And Harry Maguire will pick the ball up, and he gives it to Anthony. Back to Eriksson on the halfway line. And he goes across to Lindelof as Manchester United just playing possession football right now. And here's Anthony. Anthony storming towards the penalty area. Anthony cuts inside, plays the ball through there. Here's a chance for Dalot, and it's 2-0 to Manchester United. And well, it's been coming. It's nobody can deny that. It's been coming. The chances have been there, and Dalot. It was a beautiful ball played through to Dalot. We're going to look at that again in a moment, but my goodness me. I feel for Keylor Navas. I really feel for him. But this Nottingham Forest defence has really got to take a good long look at themselves. But we'll take a look at this pass here. It was absolutely superb. And the finish by Dalot was one of the quality of the centre forward, not really of a defender. But let's take a look again. So it's Fernandez gives the ball to Anthony, and it's Anthony's pass through that is just sublime, absolutely sublime for him to run onto. But there's two Nottingham Forest players there. There's two of them there. Yeah, there's I think there's that's Mangala and that's Mangala and Nico Williams, and neither of them saw Dalot making that run, and it's 2-0 to Manchester United. And it's cleared away now, but Nottingham Forest do have the ball. And it's the first Premier League goal for Diogo Dalot, just so everyone's aware of that. He's not scored a goal in Premier League yet, but he has today. And it's a long ball now, chasing down is Anthony. Anthony's been impressive in this game, a goal and an assist. Anthony plays it across, but this time the Forest defence a little bit more wise to it. Nia Carter just plays the ball out of play. And well, it's going to be a throw-in for Manchester United. We're going to see another substitution here. Eriksson is now coming off, and Fred is now coming on. Well, it's been a good game for Eriksson today. He's come back from injury. He's looked fairly effective for the most part, and he can go off satisfied with his day's work today. And the Brazilian Fred, who wears number 17, will come on in his stead for the second substitution for Manchester United today. I think Nottingham Forest also looking to make additional changes, but we'll look at that in a moment. Here's Fernandez. Fernandez, it's cleared away there this time by Felipe, headed back by Maguire. Sloppy play there really by Mangala, and it's back with Anthony. Casemiro plays the ball forward, and under pressure there. Oh, Veghorst claiming his foul, but he wasn't, you know. And Felipe just took his time and he's dispossessed. You can't afford to take that long. Here's Fred. Fred gives it back to Fernandez. Back with Fred. Anthony midway inside the Forest half of the field. And it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Diogo Dalot has scored 3 goals in his Manchester United career, but that goal was the first in the Premier League. 11 minutes to go. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 2, and you have to say they are full value for this this lead. And you look at the attempts on goal: 19 attempts on goal, 9 shots on target, none for Nottingham Forest. 6 attempts by the Reds, but none of them on goal. And here's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It goes back to Anthony. Anthony drops it back to Harry Maguire. And it's back with David De Gea in the Manchester United goal. It's cleared downfield and it's long. It's looking for Sancho. Sancho brings it under control, but he's adjudged to have been fouled. And it looks like we're going to see another substitution here in a moment. Just trying to see who it is that's coming on. Steve Cooper trying to make changes here. Okay, so it's Emmanuel Dennis who is coming on. And just trying to see who that is coming off. It is McKenna, so it's an attacking substitution. Scott McKenna comes off. Emmanuel Dennis is on. And Steve Cooper now. Maybe too little too late with 10 minutes to go. But here is Dallo, one of the goal scorers, out on the far side. It looks like that's Sancho. Sancho gets the ball back. He's inside the penalty area. What can he do with it? Sancho just pulls it back to Fred. Fred gets across him, but nobody there, and Lodi just chests it back to the goalkeeper, Keylor Navas, and Navas does not look a happy man, it has to be said, and one can hardly blame him. There is very few Nottingham Forest players that have covered themselves in glory today, but Navas has been brilliant. And here is Sancho. Sancho out on the far side. Sancho drops it back to Casemiro. And it's back now with Harry Maguire in the centre circle. Time for me in a few minutes here to start having a think about who my player of the match will be. Aaron Wan-Bissaka gives it back to David De Gea. And it goes back with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka back to De Gea, clears it downfield. And Anthony is chasing this one. Anthony holds the ball up. Good work by him. He's been brilliant today, as Anthony. And is he fouled? There he is. Fouled by Mangala. And he's taken quickly, but the referee will not allow that to be taken quickly. Navas comes out to challenge Sancho. But a yellow card is going to be given to Mangala. And the Forest substitute will go into the referee's naughty book. And you can see here he just maybe catches the back of Anthony's heel there. But it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, and Mangala goes into the referee's notebook. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 2. We have 8 minutes to go here, and well, you begin to wonder whether time is beginning to run out for the Reds, both in this game and in their season. If they don't start to turn these league games around, then time will definitely begin to run out as they face relegation after just being promoted to the Premier League. But we will see. The free kick is going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. It's about 25 yards out. Fernandes! Oh, he just whistles it wide. Went towards the left-hand side and just went wide of the top left-hand corner. Let's take a look at that again. Yes. On target, probably would have beaten Navas, but it just didn't curl enough and went wide. So the Nottingham Forest goal stays intact, and it's Wout Weghorst who's tackled there by Niakata, and Felipe gives it back to Navas. Navas right-footed downfield, and it's headed on by Wan-Bissaka, but it's picked up by Lodi. Lodi infield to Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White, Gibbs-White fails to control it and he's dispossessed. Here's Fernandes over the halfway line. He gives it to Anthony. And he gives it to Fernandes. Fernandes' shot come cross is blocked, and it's blocked by Niakate. And Niakate just plays the ball there to Lodi, but it's dispossessed, and there's a foul there. But the referee, I think, is playing on, and he is playing the advantage. Is Anthony. Anthony just plays it down to Fernandes. Anthony again. He's just under pressure at the moment by Danilo, but it's cleared forward by Danilo. He does win the ball back, and here's Emmanuel Dennis wearing number 25. Dennis is under pressure by 3 Manchester United players, and he's adjudged to have been fouled, so it'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest, just inside the Manchester United half of the field. Casemiro adjudged to have made the foul. And I have to consider my player of the match here very shortly, and I have 2 names in mind. And the free kick is going to be taken here now, and it looks like it is Lodi that is going to be taking this one. It is. the Brazilian. Right, it's taking it right from the halfway line. It's launched forward, looking for Emmanuel Dennis. The header away is won by Nico Williams, and the ball goes out of play. It's going to be another throw-in, and this time to Nottingham Forest. It's taken quickly. They choose not to go for the long one this time. Here's Johnson, and it's Gibbs White. He gets the cross in. It's headed out by Maguire. And picked up by Wout Weghorst, who plays it to Anthony. Anthony over the halfway line, inspired run by the Brazilian. And he goes down under the pressure of Emmanuel Dennis. No foul, says the referee. And Forest coming over the halfway line with Morgan Gibbs White. Gibbs White plays it there to Felipe. Felipe's control lets him down, and Manchester United can break away. And it's play on, and it's Victor Lindelof, Wout Weghorst. And it's over to Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United 4-on-4 in the hurry. And it's Sancho. Sancho cuts inside. Can he get a shot away? But he blazes it over. And that frustrates Fernandes a little bit. And it goes behind for a goal kick. And, well, this is it's been a day for Nottingham Forest today. Really, they've not been at the races for the most part. They've had chances, but have not taken them. And you begin to wonder what future Steve Cooper has at Nottingham Forest, as Jesse Lingard is now preparing to come on for the Reds. He's already received the vote of confidence, but well, it's going to be Morgan Gibbs White that's going to make the replacement for Jesse Lingard. And he comes on. And we're going to have a free kick now for Manchester United, and I am now going to name my player of the match. I'm going to give the player of the match to Anthony. He's scored the goal. He's scored a goal. He's created one. He's been deadly down the left-hand side. Nottingham Forest have just not been able to handle him. I'm giving it to Anthony begrudgingly. And I say that because I would have liked to have given it to Keylor Navas, but I feel that Anthony's performance has been the difference between the two sides, and that's usually the definition that you're looking for in a player of the match. But I would like to give a special mention to Keylor Navas as well, who's been brilliant today. So free kick to be taken by Nottingham Forest, and it looks like it's going to be swung in there by Loddy, and it's headed away, cleared away. Jesse Lingard, who is on now for Morgan Gibbs White, will be wearing number 11, of course. And chasing this one down is Emmanuel Dennis, but it goes behind for a goal kick. So, as we approach the closing stages of this game, you can see that there's some disagreement here between Emmanuel Dennis and David De Gea. Just trying to separate that right now. And we're going to have the goal kick to be taken. I think at this stage, it looks to me like Nottingham Forest have given up the ghost, really. But we still have a minute plus stoppage time left to go. And we're still waiting for David De Gea to take this goal kick. And then we're going to find out how long Jared Gillett is going to allow for time added on. It's cleared forward by David De Gea. The header won by Wout Weghorst, but it only falls to Nia Carter. And Wout Weghorst does work hard to win that ball back. And it goes back to Victor Lindelof and back to David De Gea. It's cleared downfield, and just one back though by Nico Williams. Good work by him. He gets the cross in, and it's a good interception by Victor Lindelof, who hacks it away and out for a throw-in. And it's going to be a long throw-in maybe by Nia Carter this time. It does look like it, and he's done a few of these now, and they've created some chaos in the Manchester United defence. Let's see if that works this time. Long throw by Nia Carter in there, headed out by Maguire, and he manages to get the header to Sancho. Sancho under pressure by Nia Carter, but it comes off Nia Carter last, and goes behind for a goal kick. We are going to have 4 minutes injury time given by Jared Gillett. So it gives the Nottingham Forest supporters and their players at least some hope. If they can get a quick goal, maybe they can make the final few minutes uncomfortable for Manchester United at least. Eric Ten Hag just looking on that, and David De Gea now with the goal kick. Cleared downfield, it's knocked on and it finds Fred. Fred finds Wout Weghorst under pressure. Fred just picking up the loose ball and just watches it go out of play for a Manchester United throw-in. It's taken quickly, and here's Sancho. Sancho into the penalty area. He cuts inside to try to find Weghorst, but good work by Danilo, who gets back and just gets in front of Weghorst, knocks it behind for a corner. And it's going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes, I think. He's over on the far side. Fernandes takes it quickly and gives it to Jadon Sancho, and he gives it to Dalla. Dalla cuts inside. And it comes all the way to Anthony inside the penalty area. Anthony with a shot, but it takes a deflection off Aaron Wan-Bissaka and goes behind. Anthony can't believe it because he had a clear shot there on goal. But it looks like Aaron Wan-Bissaka was running across and just got in the way of that. But Manchester United from the goal kick continue to put the pressure on. And it's Anthony now, our player of the match today, Anthony. And it's slipped inside from Aaron Wan-Bissaka and cleared away by Niakate, but only as far as Maguire, who heads the ball back in. Headed out again by Danilo. Hacked away, that time by Lingard. And it's won back by Casemiro, who plays the ball forward. 68% possession for Manchester United. 21 attempts on goal. That shows you how far this Manchester United game has gone. And the yellow card is being shown in the face of somebody. And Weghorst is getting in the way of Navas. And Weghorst will do well just to shut up and walk away. And we're going to see a yellow card issued at somebody here. I'm not sure at who. Weghorst is the one that has been booked. And this is the thing without Weghorst, such an ill discipline. Like, look at that. You're just swinging away at Niakate. Your side are 2-0 up. You know, why are you making this more difficult? I don't understand players reacting this way. It's a singular lack of discipline. Anyway, there's going to be a free kick. And it's taken quickly. And it's a long free kick forward by Nottingham Forest, looking to try to get themselves back into this game as we are in the last minute of the 4 minutes allowed. Dallo allowed it to bounce in the penalty area. I'm not sure how smart that was, but he gets away with it. Here's Casemiro. And it's now Sancho breaking away. There's 29,435 in attendance today at the City Ground. Full house, more or less. Fred plays the ball long. He's looking for Anthony, but that's well won back by Lodi. And Lodi plays the ball forward, looking for Surridge. Emmanuel Dennis. His ball there is very, very disappointing. Looking for Lingard. Not able to find him, and Manchester United now can tidy up with Anthony, who gives the ball to Casemiro. Over the halfway line is Bruno Fernandes. We're just about up to the 4 minutes now. Time is up now, and indeed time is up. It's full time, and Nottingham Forest have fallen to another defeat and have fallen even further in trouble as the pressure and misery is piled upon Steve Cooper and those Nottingham Forest players and their fans. 9 without a win now for Nottingham Forest. 10 straight wins over Nottingham Forest now for Manchester United in all competition. The second half goal by Diogo Dalla on 75 minutes was the difference between the two teams. It's full time here at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 2. Ross, back to you.
Thank you very much there, Paul James, or PJ as we like to call him here, at the commentary of a fantastic commentary from Paul once again. Really impressive work throughout the game this afternoon. And we're going to just take a quick break But when I return, I will talk you through the full-time scores from up and down the country here on the Commentary Hub. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Russ, and Paul on Nottingham Forest against Manchester United. Welcome back to the coverage here on the Commentary Hub. Is myself, Russ Vernon, and I've been alongside Paul James for the game this afternoon between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United. We'll give you the full-time scores before right now, and then we'll get the thoughts of Paul James on the action that's taken place today at the City Ground. Before we do leave you on a round-up with the scores from the Premier League at the end of the programme to give you Saturday's as well as today's scores from the Premier League. But let's start off then in Premier League 2, which is the under-21s. Everton 1, Liverpool 1. Manchester City 3, Chelsea 1. Women's Championship. Charlton Athletic 2, Durham 0. Lewes 1, Birmingham 0. Sunderland 0, Bristol City 5. Coventry United 0, Sheffield United 4. Crystal Palace 2, Birmingham City 4. Southampton 1, London City Lionesses 0. Women's FA Cup. Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 1. French Ligue 1. Lille 2, Montpellier 1. Auxerre 2, Nantes 1. Brest 1, Nice 0. Clermont 2, Angers 1. Strasbourg 3, AC Jaco 1. Monaco 3, Lorient 1. Marseille Victoire is a 7:45 kickoff. German Bundesliga. Werder Bremen 1, Freiburg 2. Union Berlin 1, Bochum 1. Wolfsburg v Leipzig is an evening kickoff at 6:30, so in about 3 minutes' time. Italian Serie A. Lecce 1, Sampdoria 1. Torino 1, Salernitana 1. Sassuolo 1, Juventus 0 is the latest score after 72 minutes. AS Roma against Udinese, evening kickoff at 7:45. NPFL, the Nigerian Premier League, results in there, just one result yet to come through. I'll try and fetch you that before we end the programme, but the results that we've got from the NPFL is Abbott Warriors 2, Sunshine Stars 1, Bales United 3, Lobo Stars 0, Dummy United 2, Wicked Tourists 0, El Kaneme 0, Shooting Stars 0, Engu 2, Niger 2, Kawa 1, NMBA 2, Plateau 1, Aqua United 0, Remo Stars 1, Bendel 1, and the Rivers United against Dakar FC result to come through. Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 4. Spanish La Liga, Girona 2, Elche 0, Getafe 0, Barcelona 0, Atletico Madrid 2, Almeria 1 at half time. And the evening kick-off is Valencia against Sevilla is at 8 p.m. kickoff. Now for the MLS to tell you. CF Montreal 0, DC United 1, Charlotte FC 2, Colorado Rapids 2, Columbus Crew 1, New England Revolution 1, New York City FC 2, Nashville SC 1, New York Red Bulls 1, Houston Dynamo 1, Toronto FC 2, Atlanta United 2, Austin 0, Vancouver Whitecaps 0, Chicago Fire 2, Philadelphia Union 2, FC Dallas 2, Real Salt Lake 1, Minnesota United 1, Orlando City 2, St. Louis City 5, FC Cincinnati 1, Portland Timbers 4, Seattle Sounders 1, San Jose Earthquakes 3, Sporting Kansas City 0, Los Angeles Galaxy versus Los Angeles FC is an evening kickoff at 9:30 p.m. UK time. That rounds up those results there. We'll try and fetch you the one from the Nigerian PFL League just before we end. Paul, let's pick in Paul James this evening. And Paul, it was a tough afternoon for Nottingham Forest. Let's be, in truth be told, Manchester United had a lot of chances. Forest didn't really have a chance, and I don't think they had a shot on target in the game here, which ended at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 2, which Paul just brought to you. But what was your overall thoughts on the game? And we'll start off by looking at Man United first of all. And it was a professional performance for Manchester United. Just got the job done and got the goals when they needed them, and good goals as well.
Well, yes, and they might have had a lot more had it not been for Keylor Navas. But the chances were there for Manchester United all the way through the game. Opportunities, I can count maybe 5 or 6 opportunities. I mean, it really could have been 5 or 6-0 today. And I think for Forest, defensively, they are struggling so much. For Manchester United, it was such a professional display. They looked good going forward. They looked fairly solid defensively. Anthony was brilliant. Bruno Fernandes was brilliant. Nottingham Forest didn't have an answer to it. It's as simple as that.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely, my friend. And when you look at the quality Manchester United's got, it's always going to be hard to play against them. And what do you think made it difficult for Forest to play against them today, Paul? Was it the same quality that they've shown all season, Manchester United, or was it something to be about the Forest team which you wasn't impressed with, which made it easy than the other games have been for Manchester United?
Well, my biggest criticism of Nottingham Forest, and I've seen a lot of them over the last sort of few weeks, if you will, it's they defend too deep. They defend too deep. They're not quick enough to counter on the break. They don't have quick enough players to counter on the break. So they're not getting forward enough to create chances. Instead, they are defending too deep and they're not defending well. They're being punished and they're being picked out too easily. And looking at the remaining games, they have Liverpool away in the next 5 games anyway. Liverpool away, Brighton at home, Brentford away, Southampton at home and Chelsea away. And based on that performance, I really fear for Nottingham Forest on where the next points are coming from.
Yes, I am as well, Paul, and we'll touch on Manchester United in just a moment or in more detail so far. We touched upon at the beginning of the programme, Paul, about the loss of Marcus Rashford. And do you think Manchester United missed Rashford today, or do you think Anthony, Sancho and Martial and the players in the side today did the business and got Manchester United home and host? And do you think if Rashford had been playing, do you think it would have been a bigger margin scoreline wise?
Well, it's quite possible it could have been, but they definitely did need Sancho today. I thought that Fernandes, Anthony, Martial, Sancho as well. were all very, very effective. The passing from Casemiro was amazing at points during the game today. Um, and they function collectively well as a unit. It's they didn't they did not they didn't do anything wrong today. Did Manchester United? They performed incredibly well, and they were and Forest couldn't handle them. Forest defence couldn't handle them. Forest weren't getting forward enough, as I said earlier, but. Nottingham Forest couldn't handle Manchester United today. It was really that simple. When Anthony is playing that well, when Bruno Fernandes is playing that well, when Jadon Sanchez is playing that well, how do you stop that?
I'm not sure how you really stop that. And I mentioned earlier, I don't think Forest had a shot on target, Paul, and stats have just come up in front of me now. 2 yellow cards apiece. Now listen to this for the overall shots and on target and rest of the stats here that I'm going to bring to you right now. Nottingham Forest, 6 shots compared to Manchester United's 22. How many of those shots, Paul, do you reckon Forest had on target?
Out of the six,
Yes,
none. I don't think I couldn't. I couldn't think of one.
correct. 0 shots on target. Manchester United, out of their 22, had 8. Expected goals for Forest, 0.68. Manchester United, 3.49. Touches in the opposition box. Forest had 15 touches in the Manchester United penalty area compared to Manchester United's 42. Passes in the final third, which I'll just tell you now, Paul, as well, is the touches in the final third was 80, 8-0 to Nottingham Forest compared to 239 for Manchester United. And Man United had a 68% possession compared to Nottingham Forest 32. So if people didn't watch the game and just turned on and looked at those stats there, which I've just read out to him, or just tuned in and didn't listen to the coverage or watch the game and listen to just those stats there, everyone would think it'd be one-way traffic. But Forest did have the chances, but just didn't really test the guy in goal much, did they, Paul?
No, they did have their chances. Taiwo Awoniyi had a chance, had probably had the best chance. But it's they did have chances, but they didn't take them. They just didn't take the chances, and I would argue that they possibly should have had a penalty. The second one, for me, when the more and more I think about that one, the more and more I'm convinced it was a penalty. Um, the first one, no, but the second one, yes. I mean, it moved his hand towards the ball. That for me is enough for a penalty. Um, so it's, but that wasn't given. So they've not had a lot of luck with refereeing decisions of Nottingham Forest. But they can't just look at that. They have to look at the team's performance. It just wasn't good enough. The team performance wasn't there for them today. It wasn't good enough. They didn't create enough. The chances that they did have were poor in finishing. Uh, for me, I don't think they can have any complaints about the result.
Neither do I, Paul. I don't think they can have any complaints about the result as well. Before we move on and wrap up the broadcast, let's just look at the next few matches for Nottingham Forest, first of all. I know you've touched on them briefly, and I'm going to ask you, from based on what you've seen today, how many points you think they're going to pick up. The next few matches that they've got, Paul, is Liverpool away, Brighton at home, Brentford away, Southampton at home, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, and Crystal Palace away. In those remaining games, how many points do you think they're going to pick up, and where do you think the points will be picked up from? Which games, if
Well,
any?
um, I actually sat down with one of our co-commentators, Luke, and we went over this. Now you should mention it. I feel that they can get 3 points at Liverpool, given that how inconsistent Liverpool was played. I think they can get a point at home to Brighton. I think they can beat Southampton. this is depending on how well they play, of course. Um,
What about Brentford, Paul? You missed Brentford out. That's
uh,
on the 29th.
yeah, sorry, that's a point at Brentford. I've got them getting a point at Brighton, a point at Brentford, possibly 3 points at Liverpool, 3 points against Southampton, a point against Chelsea. They won't get anything against Arsenal. They may beat Crystal Palace, and that depends on the situation that Palace are in, whether they're already safe or what is required. I think they're capable of getting 12 points maximum, so I still think they're capable of staying up, but they can't. If they play, if you're asking me based on that performance, I'd say you can very much halve that.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. And we'll just touch on Manchester United. I don't know if you've got their. I don't know if you did their point, what you think their points are going to be or not. We'll just run you through what they've got left after today in the Premier League only. So I'll take out the game against Sevilla and the game against Brighton in the FA Cup. So just here is the news, the other fixtures that Man United have got left, and then you can tell me how many points you think they're going to get. They've got Tottenham away, Aston Villa at home, Brighton away, West Ham away, Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, and then Fulham at home. Manchester United in the Premier League left. Where do you think Man United are going to get the points from, and which points? And do you think Man United will get a Champions League spot this season?
Well, I think it's very possible that they'll get Champions League spot. I think they are playing very well now. They've won 3 games in a row now. They're on very much a rich vein of form. I think they can quite easily get that. I don't think any of these games are particularly difficult for them anyway. Um, and I don't mean any disrespect to these teams. I just think that Manchester United are a cut above most of these teams. I think they'll probably get a point at Spurs. Um, Villa may be a tough game. I'll give them 3 points against Villa. A point away at Brighton. Um, and West Ham, I think they're capable of getting 3 points. Wolves, a point. Bournemouth 3 points and Fulham 3 points. I think they get capable of getting 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 points.
I got it to 15 as well, Paul. So that's what you think. That's what Paul reckons about those two. Just just before we do go, then Paul, just based on what you've seen over the weekend. I know we've got one game left over the weekend. I won't mention the scores from yesterday's games just yet, and try not to mention them, Paul, till I go through them at the end. But based on what you've seen over the weekend so far, out of the bottom three, we can probably say Southampton are very much down and out now. They've got Arsenal, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Forest, Fulham, Brighton, and Liverpool left to play. So more or less looking likely they're going to be down. Leicester, I think they could end up potentially another one potentially looking like they're already down. They've got Wolves, Leeds, Everton, Fulham, Liverpool, Newcastle, and West Ham. So, say if we say, Paul, those two are definitely down, Southampton and Leicester. Out of Forest, Everton, Leeds, West Ham, Bournemouth, Wolves, I'll put Wolves in there as well. Who do you think is going to be the other team getting relegated at the end of the season?
It's a tough call. I had it at the beginning of the week that it was going to be Everton. Um, and I still think that that could be the case. But given this performance today by Nottingham Forest, and unless they really start to improve, it's very, very difficult to say. But I still think Forest can get out of it. I think Everton may be the ones to go through the trapdoor.
Yes, it'll be the first time in I think it's around about 72 years if Everton were to get relegated. Let us know what you think of Paul's prediction for the bottom three. You can tweet us at Commentary Live 1, or you can get to me in the description of this video, or you can just tweet us at Commentary Live 1. We'll read some of them and I'll send some over to Paul and let us know who you think will be the three teams to get relegated from the Premier League this season. If you say Leeds, I won't buy your head off, even though I am a Leeds fan. I won't. It's all about opinions at the end of the day. So even if you had said Leeds there, Paul, I wouldn't have had a go at you either, my friend, because it's all about opinions at the end of the day.
Well, that's what I say. If it is just about opinions, and if we all knew what was going to happen, we'd all be very rich people by now.
Yes, absolutely, Paul, absolutely. Let's just go through the Premier League scores. I'll go through that in just a second. If there's any Rotherham United fans out there and Burnley fans, I'll go to this thinking a minute about Burnley and Rotherham fans. So just stay there with me, guys, if you are listening to this, and please, if you can, spread the word. What I'm going to mention on social media afterwards as well. Rivers United against Dhaka in the Nigerian Professional Football League. 52 minutes gone. Game was on hold because of the weather conditions not being favourable. That's what the latest is there. And just one thing I'm going to mention now, which is before I go on to the Premier League scores, which I want to mention on here as well. A friend of mine who goes on to a podcast which I watch, a Rotherham United related podcast, Kev Johnson, he lost his dad this morning at 7 o'clock this morning, and at the game of the New York Stadium, this morning. There's been an increased support for a minute's applause in Kev's memory in the 74th minute of the game at the New York Stadium on Tuesday between Rotherham United and Burnley. Please share this out if you can. I've just retweeted someone who mentioned it to Rotherham Reporter. Please share that out. And any Burnley fans, please get that message out there so your supporters can join in as well. And our thoughts from everyone in the commentary hub goes to Kev at this sad time. Let's move on to the Premier League results from the weekend, and we'll start off with Saturday, the 15th of April. Aston Villa 3, Newcastle United 0. Chelsea 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. Everton 1, Fulham 3. Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 2. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Bournemouth 3. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Brentford 0. Manchester City 3, Leicester City 1. Sunday, the 16th of April. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 2. And West Ham United 2, Arsenal 2. And just briefly, before we do wrap up, since I've just given the scores out there, Paul, what did you make to the performance from Spurs yesterday against Bournemouth? They were leading 2-1 towards, they're going back to 2-2 towards the closing end and then conceding in the 95th minute. What did you make to the performance from Spurs yesterday if you caught any of that match or seen any of the highlights from that game?
Well, I didn't see the game or see any of the highlights, but the only thing I can say at the moment is Spurs are a bit of a mess right now. Um, what I have seen of them this season, they've looked inconsistent, spotty, defensively poor, despite having a man like Conte in charge for so long. And to concede it after getting back to 2-2 and then to concede a goal in the last, in the last bit of injury time like that is, well, that's worrying. If I was a Spurs fan, I would not be a very happy Spurs fan right now.
And obviously, we know that you're not a Spurs fan, you're a Burnley supporter, and I don't think you mind me mentioning that here on the commentary hub. Paul, alongside JB, is a Burnley fan here on the commentary hub. I'm a Leeds United fan. Luke, who he referenced, is a Nottingham Forest fan, so he'll be pulling his hair out tonight at the performance from Nottingham Forest. Just one final thing on this game, Paul. I hope it's not the case, but do you think there could be, because there's been rumours and mumblings a few weeks ago now, and the Mariakis came out with that statement about Cooper and said he was staying, but didn't say how long he was staying or staying till the end of the season. He just said he's staying for now, basically, which is his words. Do you think we could see the end of Steve Cooper this weekend? Maybe even
I,
tomorrow morning after this performance?
I certainly hope not. I still think Steve Cooper's the best man for the job at Forest, and I think he's got the support of the players and the fans. So I think getting rid of him now would create a lot of unrest at a vital time of the season. But I'm also a realist. I know how this works. They fire managers. They don't care about the consequences. They don't. All they think of is that it's a new manager bounds, and they think that that will fix things. Well, it doesn't. It just creates more instability most times. Oh yes, you do get a couple of victories. You do get a new manager bounds, but it just you keep doing this. It just creates issues. What's gone on at Chelsea is ridiculous. What's gone on in other clubs is ridiculous. Watford is ridiculous. Uh, Leicester have fired Brendan Rodgers and taken a manager on who had relegated Norwich, who had gone on who was well on his way to relegating Aston Villa. Uh, why would you rehire that? Why in a fight against relegation? Make it make sense. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and I really hope that he doesn't get fired. But in answer to your question, Ross, I think it's very possible that it might happen. It will be, in my opinion, a bad decision, but it's very possible that it might happen.
I think it could happen as well, but like you, Paul, I think it'd be the wrong decision if that was to be the case. Well, thank you very much, Paul, for excellent commentary this afternoon. Thank you to those who tuned in. If you'd like to get your comments in what Paul said about the relegation dogfight, who he thinks is going to go down, and let us know who you think, you can do so. Tweet us at Commentary Live 1 is a place to tweet us. But from myself and from Paul and from the team here at the Commentary Shop, thank you very much for listening. We should have Mike alongside Luke and Nicholas tomorrow, bringing you Leeds United against Liverpool from Ellen Road. I'll be at that game live. Mike and Nick and Luke will be bringing you the remote alternative or to remote commentary from the unofficial from the Premier League. But let's round up the show to then, and thank you very much for listening. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Goodbye for now.